Finally, for this series, I'm going to show you how to filter your data using item count and quantity count. So now we're going to put together a table using item count. We're investigating occupations of respondents by state for those who have done 3 or more types of gambling in the last 3 months. First of all, we'll have occupation in rows and states in columns. This is the variable that we want to add to the filter, types of gambling done in the last 3 months. And you can see there are a number of groups within this variable. And we want to pick those people who have done at least 3 of these. Click and drag the variable across to filter and the window will pop up automatically. And be careful when you're putting in the number, whatever number you're specifying, that you choose the appropriate option here. For example, do you want greater than 3? Or do you want greater than or equals to 3? And the same for the less than options. And of course you can put within a range or not within a range. So I want to put greater than or equals to 3. And you can see in the definition and the filter that we have a count. As with all other filters, you can change the description. I'm then going to run the table. Now this table is read in exactly the same way as any other table, using your weighted count, your V% or any other data you may have showing, but be aware that it's filtered to this item count. So only those people who have done 3 or more types of gambling in the last 3 months. Now I'm going to put together a table looking at quantity count, and we want to investigate ages of respondents by state for those who spent at least $100 or more on scratch tickets in the last 3 months. Start by creating a new table, and we'll put in ages detailed and states in our table. The next item for the filter needs to come from the quantities tab because it's a quantity that we're looking for. We want to use this one, amount spent on scratch tickets in the last 3 months. I click and drag that across to filter. Again, we get the quantity filter window pop up automatically. And we're specifying those who have spent at least $100 in the last 3 months. Again, you can change the filter description just as you can with any other filter. And then we'll run that table. Now remember, although that we have used a quantity for this particular table, we're not applying a quantity to the table. We have simply used the quantity as part of the filter process. So again, you can read your weighted count and your V% just as you would any other table without a quantity applied. So this figure is 6,000 people, and this 2.7% is 2.7% of people in New South Wales who have spent $100 or more on scratch tickets in the last 3 months. Are those aged 18 to 19. The quantity has simply been used as a filter. Now I'd like to have a look at combining item counts and quantity counts in your filter. Previously we looked at types of gambling done in the last 3 months, so I'm going to put that into my filter and choose greater than or equals to 3. I might decide that not only do I want to filter to those who have done at least 3 types of gambling in the last 3 months, but also look at attitude statements. And I want to pick out people who agree with at least 5 of these attitude statements. By right mouse clicking on holidays and agree, I can choose add selected to filter as a count, and it now gives me the option of and, or not. For this example, I'll choose and. We want at least 5 of these statements that they agree with. So you can see here in the definition that we have the and, so it's joining the 2 criteria. And again, when we look at the table, exactly the same as any other table in terms of how you read the data, but it's filtered to these particular people. You can also combine item count with other quantity count filters. I'll use holidays agree again. We need to go to the quantities tab, and we're going to choose total value per person of all short trips in the last 12 months. We're going to include this in the filter by right mouse clicking and choosing add selected as quantity defined filter, and again for this one we're choosing and let's say they have to have spent at least $100. And again we can run the table. We're not reading the table as if it had a quantity applied, This WC is talking about people, and the V% again talking about people, but it's filtered to those who agree with at least 5 holiday attitude statements and have spent at least $100 on short trips.